What up, what up? This is Finance Fitness and Folks channel. We discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So today's episode, I'm going to discuss how you can create wealth or make a lot of money without having two jobs. Now, I'm probably not going to make that as the title. I'll make it something else. But that's the gist of the video. So once again, thanks a lot to my subscribers. I cannot express how much I appreciate you guys. I started this channel roughly about a year ago. I had confidence that it was going to scale to a certain degree, but I did understand that that success is not made overnight, and it takes time, it takes effort. So that's why I've been trying so hard to push out content for the last 6 months consistently. And since I've done that, I've actually have gained subscribers over time. So it doesn't matter whether I have 1 subscriber or 1 million. I do feel that these videos are beneficial to put out there for the masses to take in and gain knowledge. But the ones that are actually subscribed right now, I definitely appreciate you guys. So let's get into it. So excuse my sweat. I just finished doing a workout. Come out here and work out, y'all. I'm telling you, it does about it good. I just did 3.24 miles. I try to come out here every day or every other day to keep myself healthy because, like I said in the previous video, health is wealth, and I just can't express how important it is to keep your health up in order for you to gain wealth and to make money for the most part. You have to be healthy to be able to keep a job and sustain a job. But anyways, 2 ways that you can gain wealth without having 2 jobs, right? So the first way is pretty obvious. You build your skill set up to where you're worth enough to sustain yourself, your family, and have a lot of excess resources when it comes to assets, money, all those things, right? So some of the common jobs that you can have as far as like scaling yourself that much is some pretty advanced technical jobs, right? Whether it be like a doctor, a lawyer. Actually, contrary to popular belief, a lot of lawyers don't make a lot of money. What it boils down to is that, and I saw this in a video before, the lawyer explained it like this. He said that when you go into a lawyer's office, you don't there's not a menu like I want, the double cheeseburger for $2.99 or something like that. Now, I haven't seen the $2.99 cheeseburger in a long time, but it's not like you pick a menu. They pretty much base it off literally your income and your status. So that's the reason why when these high-paid celebrities get lawyers, they're paying them a lot of money. But these lawyers, maybe a couple years ago, or even more recent than that, probably was taking a case for maybe like $2-3 grand for somebody that's just it's not a celebrity, that's just a normal everyday person. So, you can scale yourself up to make a lot of money being a lawyer, but it takes time and it takes effort. Being a specialty doctor, it takes a long time, but because you're in school, I think from the time you enter college to the time you actually become a full-fledged doctor, I think it's like 12 years. Not to include continuous education and depending on what kind of specialty you're in, it may even take even longer than that. Being a CEO or COO of a company. I saw a video recently where this person said there was a COO or CEO that was making like $3 million a year. And I'm assuming the person is a W-2 employee. I'm not exactly sure how that works when it gets to that level. I'm in the IT field, and if you become a highly skilled penetration tester, meaning that you're a person that actually hack into computers ethically. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that word anymore. There's no edits. I don't take any edits for my videos. But basically, it's ethical hacking, right? Like I said, you're hacking into a system or a network, and then you get the results back to that customer and tell them, hey, look, you had holes in your network here, here, and here. This is how you patch it. This is how you mitigate risk. All those things. I'm telling y'all, some penetration testers can make up to $300,000 a year, sometimes even more than that. In the IT field, there's there's something called cloud servicing. That's based off of, well, it's not based off of it, but I mean, you have what's called Amazon Web Services, and a part of that is cloud infrastructure. So pretty sure folks that have an iPhone, I have heard of cloud before, right? You know, you take pictures, you take video, and instead of you actually saving your videos or pictures on your phone, you can save it to the cloud. And the cloud, all it is just a network of servers that basically, like, you're basically saving your information, your pics and your videos and anything else onto a computer that's like in some type of like building that's maybe like, I don't know, however miles away from you, right? That's considered cloud service. So if you become a cloud architect, meaning that you're able to build a cloud architecture from the ground up, you're gonna make like $400,000 a year. Now, you know, provided, you know, you have to pay taxes and all this other stuff, which you will have to if you're working for a company. You know, you're not gonna actually see $400,000, but even after taxes, that's still a lot of money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing to shake a stick to. Like I said, there's so many skill sets you can acquire in order for you to pretty much make six figures easily, and that's to scale that to where you're making sometimes almost like $500,000, maybe even more. I've seen real estate agents that said they make on average $800 to $1 million a year in just real estate. You got folks that are insurance salesmen. They can scale themselves up to that point where they can make $800,000 to $1 million a year. So there's a lot of ways for you to get there, but it takes time and effort. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, a lot of work, and a lot of folks don't like doing that. A lot of folks don't like to you know, to build their skill set and be able to scale that over time to make a lot of money. But that's one of the ways you can actually build wealth without having two jobs. Because if you have that one job that's that marketable and that skill set is that valuable, then what's the point of having two jobs? If I'm a cloud architect, there's no way in the world that I should be having to work two jobs to maintain myself or my family. Doesn't matter how big my family is, right? But the second way is, and I've said this so many times in these videos, is creating and starting a business. And there are a lot of business models out there that you do not need to have a very technical skill set for you to be able to build that business or to create that business. I've said a couple times before that I like selling shoes. That's kind of like a side hustle I do. You can create an LLC just for selling shoes. You can actually pull out a loan or use your own money, buy a whole bunch of shoes that are marketable, depending on how the market is, and doing your research. Sell those shoes for a profit, right? Dump all that money back into your business, buy some more shoes, and then you keep compounding that over and over and over and over and over again. Don't touch that money. And then eventually you can actually move yourself out of the space of your job and actually use that as your own job. But, you know, I don't consider that a second job. I consider that just a side hustle. Because you're not working for you're not working for somebody, you're working for yourself. You're making money for yourself, and you're not a W-2 employee. So me selling shoes is not even considered a second job to me. A second job is like I'm going to work and then, like, you know, I'm getting off of work at a certain time in the day, and then I'm going right into another job that's a W-2. I have two bosses. That's what I mean by having a second job. Selling shoes is not like that, right? Also creating a business in the medical space. I have an LLC. And I'll talk about this in another video, but my business is called NEMT, November Mike Echo Tango. It stands for non-emergency transportation, medical transportation. Non-emergency medical transportation. Like I said, I don't do no edits. But anyways, what it is it is a service that you provide to people that need transportation, but they don't need ambulatory transportation, meaning that I can't transport anybody that needs to be on a stretcher. I can scale my business to that point where I can do that, but I need to actually go through a certification. I need a license for that, all of that. But I don't provide, my vehicle is not an ambulance. What it is It's a vehicle that I use to transport people that have disabilities, whether it be like they need to use a walker, they need to use a wheelchair. And I'm taking these folks to doctor's appointments. I'm taking them to dialysis. I'm taking them to shop around. They need to shop. All of those things. I'm providing a medical service to these folks that in any other scenario would not have the transportation they need in order for them to make it from point A to point B. I'm telling you right now, that if you get into that space, you can make a lot of money. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't take a really good skill set, because it does over time. But to start off this, you don't need to have a very specific skill set. As long as you got a license, as long as you're not scared to drive big vehicles like a van, you can start this day if you wanted to. But leave some comments in the comment section to ask me if you want to ask me about that particular business, because I just started it a couple months ago. I'm trying to scale it right now, and eventually my goal is to scale that thing to the point where I am able to hire people and to be able to pretty much just manage a business. I do believe that having multiple businesses is going to be able to benefit me more than having just that, but that's going to be my bread and butter for the time being. But anyways, those are the two ways that I believe that you can go about not having two jobs, because I'm telling you, having two jobs is crazy. And I mean, it takes away from your time. I said in a previous video that, that time is more important than money. I know a guy now, he works in my building now. He has two jobs. He works as a network guy, and then he does security as a second job. And he said for years he's been working 14-hour days. Put that in perspective now. 14-hour days, and he works 7 days a week. Now he doesn't work 14 hours 7 days a week, but he said more days than least, as far as like him working the 14 hours is more like he probably working like 14-hour days at least 4 out of the 7. That's crazy. What time does he have to sleep? What time does he have to be with his family? And he has a wife and kids. So it's like, I mean, that is not a conducive way to live, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be out here working two jobs. We need to figure out a way to not have to work two jobs, right? So like I said, those are two ideas. I do understand that those two ideas may be a little bit over the top for some people. But I mean, life is not easy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you have to have a way to be able to better yourselves and to scale what skill set you have, whether it be like I said, like actually building a skill set to where you're making a lot of money being a W-2 employee, or having a business and scaling that business to the point where like you're making a lot of money and you can actually become a boss and actually hire people. It takes effort and it takes time. Money doesn't come easy for a lot of folks, and it doesn't come fast. Fast money comes with fast problems. A lot of times, it really does. Even you win the lottery and you win $1 million, you know what I'm saying? You win that million, but guess what? They're probably gonna come to you very, very quickly. So I'm not saying for anybody not to put bad juju on somebody trying to win the lottery or anything like that. I'm just saying that when money comes fast to folks, a lot of times it doesn't work out too well for those folks, right? So build your skill sets, keep learning, and keep pushing, and just put yourself in the mind space to where, like, if I want to have a lot of money, I need to put the work in. All right, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna keep pushing the videos to give you leverage to better yourselves. Finance, fitness, and folk. Triple F, I'm gone.